had an experience that I never heard anybody have before, and I'm not saying that no one hasn't had. I had an experience that blew my mind, and if you had something similar, please let me know, because sharing these stories really helps us to grab a hold of our faith of what's real, especially things that are going on in the unseen realm that we can't quite understand because we're in these physical bodies. At my father's funeral, the funeral director, whoever it was, we were at the VA memorial, the VA cemetery, and he said, okay, now we want everybody to put their flowers on the casket and to exit. And this was like the end. So everybody got up, and they started with me and my aunt because we were in the front row. So I got up and I put my flower on the casket, but I sat back down. I did not exit because this was a Monday. That Saturday at the funeral, I told my dad, okay, we're gonna be strong for this, but Dad, after this is all over, me and you gonna talk. So I just stayed strong because my brother didn't come to the funeral. So I sat there alone with my kids. I didn't know I was gonna be the first one on the front row. For some reason in my mind, it was gonna be my aunts. Anyway, so now Monday come, I'm sitting there, wait for that golf cart to go by. I'm sitting there and everybody's going by. My stepsister, she and her son, they put their flowers up and then they come stand by me. My daughters, they were there. They put the flowers up, they come stand by me. So everybody had placed their flowers and then started coming to stand by me. And what happened next was, after everybody exited, I had put my head down and I just started thinking. And then all of a sudden, it's like I saw my dad. Kind of like looked like a hologram, right? But I had my eyes closed. And he did this funny little thing. He always whistle and he'll point at you. And everybody knows him to do that. So he did this whistle thing. It was the last whistle that I received from him, right? And, I was having a hard moment. Now I'm trying to recall what happened first. Next thing you know, I'm wailing. Not crying, wailing, immense. And then I thought there was only one. Here comes another. It seemed like it just lasted for hours. And it was so quiet, and my voice just shook the whole graveyard. Like my voice traveled. I already have a large voice, and my voice just traveled across the place. And so I just sat there in this pain. And I must have did it like 3 to 4 times, maybe 5 times. And then that's when I had closed my eyes. And then my dad came up and said, by now, my cousin and the pastor are on my back and they're touching me. Honestly, I didn't want anybody to touch me because this connection, even though it sounded painful, it was actually pretty amazing. But they didn't know. Shucks, I didn't know. And they were touching my back and rubbing me, and the pastor was saying something I don't even remember. And then that's when my dad did that whistle and pointed at me. And that's when everybody was quiet. They were saying something, I don't know, but when they got quiet, I just said, he was so funny. That must have been the weirdest statement to ever make after screaming so loud. So my pastor said, that's right. The pastor said, that's right. Remember the good times, remember the good times. But he was funny because here it is, I'm losing my mind, and he gonna blow the whistle and point at me. But it was done. He blew the whistle. It was final, and I had closure.